Every year, the Hudson Valley Writers Guild teams up with literary journals Trailer Park Quarterly and Hobo Camp Review for a reading to showcase a few of the amazing writers that contribute to their online and print publications. Last fall, Mary Panza hosted the annual featured reading at the Fish Market, a community arts project space run by the Arts Center in north central Troy, New York. Poet, photographer, and TPQ co editor Jason Baldinger was one of those poets whose work, both poetry and photography, was highlighted that October afternoon. He shared a mix of poems, including collaborations with poets James Benger and Rebecca Schumejda.
History of Backroads Misplaced is my selected poems. This is a poem called A Palomino and a Bull Snake. There were 4 water towers on the Salina skyline, more than 10 rooms with private bath in the place I stayed. I've lived the last couple days on gin and tequila. There's been no need to hit the brakes over the last 80 miles. It feels like I'm barnstorming a prairie fire. The longest train I ever saw was in Amarillo. That was before today, although it may have been Sheridan. Amarillo is 400 miles south. Sheridan is a palomino and a bull snake away. In the distance, there's a storm stuck over Topeka. I've seen so much big sky and empty plain, it makes me want to swing north for the Badlands. I could make Rapid City by morning. Yesterday, I learned that Mexican buffet are the 2 most perfect words in the English language. And as I left, I noticed the only graffiti on the men's room wall, "My asshole is burning." Except the S's were faint. They had been corralled to some Baptist ranch in the sky where profanity is still the devil's tongue. Yesterday, I learned how to turn breadcrumbs into bluebirds. If I head north and gun it to Nebraska, I'm going to try my luck turning motels into bluebirds. John Dorsey is a good friend of both Becky and I, amongst other people. I'm going to read a poem from my book, American Aorta, called "This Poem Was Written for John Dorsey in the El Bronco Bar, Richmond, Indiana." Easy enough, right? Chill as fuck across Gossamer, Ohio, through endless western sunset. Babe, I'm sorry it was you that cancer took to the prom. When friends hear you're together, they freeze in existential headlights. Brother, I'm sorry that grief doles out shitty, drunk lap dances. No care if those ducats ever roost in a G-string. John, I promise you fried chicken and all the world shaking that doom allows in less than a Waffle House day. I'll be on the phone to Gus's soon as I kill the engine in the sky-high pie parking lot. Maplewood is an armadillo away. Over dinner the other night, I said magic and loss. It's something I say often in and out of context. And a friend replied, with enough time served, magic doesn't hold sway over the ocean of loss we worship at now. And I can't say I disagree, except the waitress who calls me amigo like I've never left just delivered a grande margarita. And in the hum of 300 easy miles and the shine of tequila, I won't want to buy a camper, but I have the receipt for a short walk in the lights between Speedway and Meyer. Lights that stretch from here as far as Midwest, wherever. You know, I'll be there soon. All right. As Becky said, James Benger and I have 4 books together. They kind of come across as letters across the Midwest. We also do have an ekphrastic collection coming out soon, but we'll talk about that after I start reading ekphrastic poems next. So I'm going to read you a poem from Waiting on Hummingbirds, which is our latest collection. This is called a Howard Johnson prayer. Nothing has a right being this beautiful. In the mighty exhale of crossing the heartland again, the chill that saturates post-Labor Day, the sun already a victim, but there are no stars in this fenced pool parking lot watering hole with logos looming and billboards crowing and headlights blowing past through honeycomb, the interstate just close enough to hear it whinny at the horizon. Another outlaw moment. Flat Earth and floodplain, 250 miles and 25 milligrams, waiting on corn stalks to colonize these temples. Cold blue water steals as it reinforces this essence. I float on dreams that stretch middle Mississippi to Machu Picchu. I float a black and white dream, memories of a dark sky, meditation. This is called Hope is a Prison. Becky and I did this. They're her poems, they're my pictures. So, in this case, the picture, which you won't be able to see very well from here, is a Bible on a rostrum in an abandoned prison chapel, and the poem is called Last Rites, which was written by Becky. The last time I heard my father's voice was when my grandmother was transitioning in hospice. We gathered around her bed saying our goodbyes when her son called collect from prison to encourage her to ask for the Lord's forgiveness. While death rattled in her throat, I looked out the window. A stray cat battered around a bluebird. My grandmother dismissed religion long before I was born, but kept a crucifix in her nightstand drawer. She had a stray cat husband who held my father like a feather between his teeth. She looked out the same window, then at me as my father yammered on about redemption. Or maybe she didn't look out the window. Maybe I just wanted her to. The last time she spoke directly to me was the day before her son was sentenced. Just tell the truth, that he didn't really hurt you. She begged, just tell the truth. So that book came out of me looking for a cover for Becky's book, and I was doing a photo day at an abandoned minimum security prison near Pittsburgh. And I sent her a roll of film, digitally, of course, and then I started getting poems. This next collaboration by Robert Dean and I was a much slower process over the course of multiple years. Here in the Rust Belt, if you see an old steel mill, you will probably see a bar right across the street, right next door. If you happen to be in southern Illinois, it's a grain elevator with the bar right next to it. So it's the same no matter what. Don't let them tell you otherwise. This is called Old Style. It's by Robert Dean Jr. from Wichita, Kansas. This is the place where Slim overlooked the peeling corner of your fake ID and poured you a cold one because you were from the neighborhood and Slim's brother worked with your dad at the ball-bearing factory. And tiny Spinetti's near-realist cards were accepted currency all over town. This is the place with the best beef jerky and Cracker Jacks in the county, and where Madge's pink skirt hiked up mid-thigh as she wiped down those high stool tables. This is the first place out back where legend said, or where Albert Gutzman got into your one and only fight. The place where legend has it that John Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd used to hang out between bank robberies. This is the place where the guys in VFW jackets left their Harleys unchained and refought Incheon, Heartbreak Ridge, and a hill called Pork Chop, while a few college boys home from break debated the location of a place called Vietnam, and the old men in John Deere and AFL-CIO caps puffed Luckies, Winstons, and Camels, the air above them a skeptical haze of Khrushchev, Cuba, and Berlin. Flippers and kickers pinged and dinged from one wall, steel points thunked cork on the other, a crack of a 9-ball brake frame from the side room, money rustled from hand to hand, mysterious metal ribs across the street kept watch, holding their breath, poker chip towers marching into the vanishing point of history. The GMC out front is not the jalopy you remember, souped up by crazy Eddie Nietzsche, and you wonder if you walk in and through that door right now with your chip-embossed plastic license and Wi-Fi earbuds, if you can still get an Old Style in a frosted mug, if Slim still remembers, if the air is still drunk with glory. So my next ekphrastic book will be James Benger, and then Cheryl Rice. She's going to read you a couple poems from Lazarus, or what is it? Hope is a Town in Denora? Close. Yes, thank you. I took the picture. I can't remember anything. So, all right, I got like 4 or 5 more poems for you. On to new shit here. This is called Hard Time Eyes. 3 Confederate skeletons molder through a dogwood night. 2nd Avenue lights shine from downtown Oasis past where motels go to pasture and green corn begins its rise. 3 Confederate skeletons, gray hair growing down the backs of Kiss tees, baggy jeans printed with Ohio River mud. They double time it back to camp past the Cadillac Motel and halfway house. Mutton warms on the fire, graybacks burning and their pockets. Old Jeff Davis's eyes wide after a taste. Jesus fucking Christ, the South will rise again. 3 Confederate skeletons pass. The woman at the liquor store stashes moonshine pints as Victor, announced by doorbell, asks for a bottle of wine. She looks at him with hard time eyes. Honey, I don't know a goddamn thing about no wine. People's History of Williamson, West Virginia. We could have gone to the prom with the Coal House girls, crushed red velvet dresses, color drawn richer in humidity. They wait for dreams and corsages to die like Romeo and Juliet. Instead, we holed up in a burned-out department store, rechristened junk shop, sifting boxes of 10-cent black and white photos, watching A People's History of Williamson, West Virginia, as a remaindered flip book. Camera flash illuminates moments head craned to the surface, a new used car sitting in pea gravel under a pawpaw. The sun shining off the canal as she sat neatly on a picnic bench. Smoking uncles, messy rubber-legged toddlers, beehived aunts, gaunt Halloween witches, coal black-faced miners carrying lunches in gunny sacks. Not one graduation in sight. No one ever actually smiling. Only distance read in eyes focused on the ledge of another mountain range. These boxes never rescued. Sepia acid-stained or rusted pipe-washed. 8 lanes of train tracks that led out of town, now left to oxidize. Burnt sienna memories, color-faded ghosts, haunt photo paper alone. Postcard from Luke, Maryland. We were honeymooners, weekend lovers dabbling in magic as we started down that deep gorge decline from the top of Backbone Mountain. You said it out loud, under your breath. Maybe I just heard you thinking it. I love you. The Potomac never visible, only the rock face wall painted 24 or more white crosses, the diesel smoke casualties, the twisted metal unlucky who gave their lives to a mighty highway bend, leaving tire marks and bloodstains for the rain to make of as it chooses. Your voice sucked back in your throat as we crossed into West Virginia before turnarounds to Allegheny County. Those crosses blaze along your eyes, graphics in a slot game gone awry. We pulled in for a pizza at the Civil War Hospital on the other side of Savage Mountain, silent and still as cannon smoke. Now to the shit that's so new it's on my phone. Jimmy James Blue Goose. Red-shouldered hawk, fool in the distance of his call, left only Art Deco bones and Jimmy James Blue Goose. The Blue Hair Society for Cat Lovers, Greek salad and gyro luncheon, their dead husbands drop coins in the slots at the American Legion. Jimmy Carter says yes wheezes from a transistor radio, compressed AM mono mixes with a litany of procedures, CT scans, MRI, EKG. The marquee around the corner advertises everybody wants some. From the bathroom mirror, I overhear a blue hair say, "Did you know there were 42 feet in a human colon?" The hope of a scavenger. Coyote laments, the full moon's passing. I hear them congregate across the ridgeline, the same beater truck, dim headlights scrape Route D, then into the same driveway, 3 nights in a row now. Bass thunders from an armadillo's mouth. Truck is back in less than an hour. Cook shack pickups, enough lightning, a little back road speed, a numb spark for St. Marie's County, obliterate whatever you want to call reality. And I stare, raccoon and black walnut, more howling than night now, ready to start pinching strangers, shaking people awake to rupture this timeline, to figure out whose fucking reality I'm living in. I may not be tired of the moon, but Christ, I am so tired of this darkness. Maybe it's time to go feral. The shape of water, the curve of the earth, all fours in a straight spine, yipping at a September wind. All the poetry of nowhere, all the hope of a scavenger. Thank you. Should have warned I just had a haiku after that, so could have just made it all happen. So haiku for Bart Solarchuk, who is an amazing haiku artist from Pittsburgh who's passed away. So this is a haiku for him. It's a long journey, brother, wind blown between beers, crows guide our way. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Becky. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.